With AEW concerned about stars making the jump to WWE and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for August 3rd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. This morning, AEW gave a major update in regards to their talent relations team. Writing, AEW announces expansion of talent relations and development team. Roles for Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone will increase under expanded talent relations team. Madison Rayne joining to coach women's division. AEW CEO, GM, and head of creative Tony Khan announced an expansion to AEW's talent relations team with the promotions of key staff members, including Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone. In addition, Madison Rayne will join AEW as a coach in the women's division. As AEW continues its meteoric rise, the expanded talent relations team will strengthen the infrastructure required to facilitate the development, health, and safety of AEW's outstanding roster. The following promotions and additions are effective immediately. Sanjay Dutt has been promoted to Vice President of Production and Creative Coordination. In this role, he will coordinate communication of AEW storylines, liaise between post-production and key staff to maintain content workflow, produce ancillary content, and mentor new producers. Dutt joined AEW in 2021, bringing more than 20 years of experience in pro wrestling, both in ring and as a producer, and continues to serve on screen as manager to Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal. QT Marshall has been promoted to Vice President of Show and Creative Coordination. He will help to manage show elements including planning programs and storylines, character development, overseeing extras, and live event logistics coordination. Marshall, an AEW original with more than 20 years of experience, will continue to wrestle as the leader of the factory with Anthony Ogogo, Nick Camarato, Aaron Solo, and Cole Carter. Pat Buck has been promoted to Vice President of Talent Development. In this position, he will liaise with talent and production, oversee all coaches, provide input on matches and promos, and lead the talent relations team. Buck brings nearly 2 decades of experience serving wrestling promotions as a talent trainer, producer, and promoter. Tony Schiavone has been promoted to Senior Producer and Special Advisor to Talent. In this capacity, he will work directly with talent as part of the talent relations team. Schiavone is one of AEW's most tenured members and has nearly 40 years of experience with an iconic voice that has guided fans through professional wrestling's most incredible moments. Madison Rayne will join AEW as a coach in the women's division and kick off her new role tonight in her hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Madison has competed in numerous professional wrestling promotions where she has held multiple championship titles, including 5-time women's world champion. She has more than 15 years of experience in professional wrestling and is also a proud mom to a daughter. Christopher Daniels, an AEW original who brings more than 30 years of industry experience, will continue to serve as manager of talent relations. The talent relations team will also remain in close contact with AEW's legal and talent resources team, led by Margaret Stalvey, Chris Peck, and Mega Perek, who help to support the physical and mental health, safety, and security of talent. AEW is also committed to supporting talent beyond the ring and offers access to world-class physicians, trainers, and mental health clinicians. Speaking on the Cheap Heat podcast about WWE stars that were unhappy with the company, Finn Balor revealed that he advised them to walk away. Yeah, for sure. And I tell them to go. There's a whole other world. I tell them to go. Sometimes we get caught up in the bubble that's WWE, and there's a whole world of wrestling outside there. If someone doesn't want to be here, they should go. If you don't want to work in WWE, don't be here. For me, I want to be here. So that's why I'm here. Talking to Wrestling Inc. about Stephanie McMahon and Triple H having more power in WWE, Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart said, "Can you believe it? It's such an injustice. They should be calling me to do that." So Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, don't forget Jimmy Hart's right down here in Tampa, Florida, which is just a short drive to Orlando. I think I can help. Absolutely, yes, I can help. NXT is part of our future. I'd love to go down there and help out, do anything. Giving his thoughts on Logan Paul facing The Miz at SummerSlam, Jim Cornette had high praise to the WWE newcomer, saying, "Have you noticed that the celebrities and folks from other sports on SummerSlam were more accomplished professional wrestlers than half the roster in AEW? Logan Paul, he looks better physically than Miz, and I've been hard on Miz, but I'll give him credit here, because Logan Paul is taking this seriously. He's obviously working hard and is obviously trained hard, and he does moves well, but he's still green. And Miz is putting up with a lot to put him where he needs to be, to put up with the stiffness. I'm not talking about a stiff potato punch. I'm talking about a stiff when you want to take an arm. It's like a table leg. You want to turn a guy. He doesn't know instinctively or intuitively which way to go or how to flow with it, so you're having to move him around. So herky-jerky body movements. That's what Miz is putting up with. And he shepherded this match obviously in the ring. But Logan Paul, he gets it, and he seems to get selling. He wasn't just going down and laying there with his face down. He was screaming in pain, or he was looking up with facials. Obviously, he's not Jack Briscoe after 2 matches, but excellent job, and great potential to do more, to get better, if he's going to be around for a while with this contract. On his podcast, Logan Paul talked about having no issue when it comes to gaining respect in WWE. I have no problem earning respect. I've done it before and I intend on doing it in WWE. I will say though, I do really feel like I have a bit of a cheat code, and I did hop to the highest level so quick, and I can kind of feel some of the other wrestlers sometimes maybe with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You know, they put in years, decades even of work just to get to the place where I'm at now. Paul also touched on not being sure he'd make it through SummerSlam without injury. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to make it out of that without a broken arm or leg, I swear to God. That table jump, the first time I practiced it, the stunt guy goes, "You were going to break both femurs." Well, because I landed too close, and dude, you know what's funny? If you guys haven't seen the clip, I've littered my Instagram with it. I'm amused. I don't know if I can say this. I'm amused by watching me do WWE. I cannot believe it's me. You know what I'm saying? When I was jumping off of that pylon onto the table, I had one thought before I made the final leap. I swear to God. I'm looking around at the stadium and I'm like, this is it. This is a moment that can make or break a career. Is this what he can do? What is he capable of? And I go, my life's been going so good. I did great in WrestleMania. I'm gonna jump and break both my femurs right now. I go, this is the end of my career. Forget it. And then just nailed it. I couldn't believe it, bro. Talking about Raw on his podcast, former WWE writer Vince Russo criticized Triple H for booking Seth Rollins to face Montez Ford. If that is the reason, and you know, we see the 2 new girls coming out with Bayley, bro, they're booking for the fans they already have. The hardcores and the marks are gonna go nuts. Bro, as soon as I saw Rollins and Montez Ford, I'm like, okay, bro, this is 15 minutes and the mark's going to go crazy over this. And the casual fans are not going to give a crap. So yeah, I agree with you, Chris, but again, when you're going after that mass audience, that's for all the wrong reasons, bro. In some unfortunate news, Natalya has suffered a loss as she took to Twitter to write, "Miss Charlie got her angel wings today. What a beautiful girl she was. We got her when she was 8 weeks old. Someone had abandoned her in a dumpster. We spoiled her for the rest of her life. We will miss her so much. Thank you for all the love you gave to us. We'll never forget it." Talking about the interim AEW champions bout against Rush from Dynamite, Jim Cornette had this to say about Jon Moxley. "So they can make even a finish to the world title match like that as flat as possible. Either win with your finish or don't hit it and let the guy kick out of it and then just grab something else and win with that. Jesus, he's rotten. Plumber Moxley. I trended for saying this and a lot of people happen to agree with it, come to find out. He's the worst pushed wrestler in the world, and it's all the same." Impact Wrestling's Cassie Lee recently posted a video on Instagram revealing she and AEW star Shawn Spears are expecting. Speaking of Triple H now being in charge of WWE Creative, AEW President Tony Khan admitted to Sports Grid that he is worried now more than ever over AEW stars signing with WWE. I think that's always been a concern, but now probably more so than ever. I imagine great wrestlers are going to be in demand, and again, I think this is probably going to be good for the wrestling fans because that's one of the most exciting things about pro wrestling, free agency. It's one of those things that was really missing from the sport for almost 2 decades before AEW came in, because there was not a legitimate competitor in the free agent market, and now there is. I think it's going to be some exciting times ahead, hopefully for many years to come. One of the worst things that happened, I think, in American sports in my lifetime was when WCW closed down, and there should always be another national wrestling company. Khan would add, it's going to change the competition, but I think that's a good thing. AEW's got a big fan base. We're on in 130 countries now around the world, and here in the US, we've built a great fan base, and the competition is going to change. It's a different person in the chair opposite me, but I don't think that's going to be a bad thing for the wrestling fan necessarily. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.